If you didn't like Zenkaiger at all as a Super Sentai fan, I don't mean to be rude, but you're kind of a stickler. As an anniversary season, and even a Sentai series on its own, I doubt any fan, both casual and hardcore, will walk out of Zenkaiger and not say they had fun at least once. The silly gimmick of the villains, the cool mecha designs and how fun they look, the several deep cut references to Sentai's history, and of course, the amazing characters we meet throughout the story. Fans will all be quick to praise and give love to characters like Zux, Majin, or even Gaon. I also just want to remind everyone, this is Kai screaming. I do believe that the main lead, Goshikita Kaito, really is the one that ties this together. His happy-go-lucky and friendly personality really is something special, especially when you look deeper into his character. While it is typical shonen good boy behavior and typical Red Ranger behavior, it's fun and also escalated by the fact that we see Kaito's development, especially with one character we'll talk about later. Throughout the worlds, he also finds ways to help others, but also pursue one of his major goals, to find out what happened to his parents. However, today, we're going to look at one of the parallel worlds he traveled to, where he's a breakout model and BL actor Hayama Asami, starring in the new BL series Hiro no Yume, alongside his high school crush Shirasaki Yuki, in the real BL series 25Ji Akasaka Day. In the spring of 2024, two notable BL with Toku actors came out, two that I was eager to jump on. Living with Him, featuring Sato Ryuga, and 25Ji Akasaka Day, featuring Komagine Kita. Of course, since I was fresh out of my recent Toku to BL video with Sukiyanin and Ace, I knew that Keiwa's immediately came next. After all, it's easy since, well, I literally just discussed that series. However, that didn't mean I just abandoned the other, and on the side, I watched 25 Akasaka, and I think I liked it more than Living with Him. Why? Well, let's talk about it. One thing that should be established when going into this BL, it's that it's actually a BL within a BL. The plot revolves around an up-and-coming actor and a supermodel being casted in the brand new BL series Hiro no Yume, the stars being the aforementioned supermodel Hayama Asami and the nervous actor Shirasaki Yuki. Immediately in the first episode, their dynamics are defined right there and then. Two inexperienced actors who are earning one of their first lead roles, but whereas Hayami portrays and carries a more outgoing and confident personality, Shirasaki is timid, nervous, and at most nervous not only earning such a role, but also starring alongside the most popular guy and the star of his old school's film club. In order to remedy this and get used to the idea of dating a guy on camera, Shirasaki ventures to a gay bar, which is actually real in Tokyo and Osaka, and shares a name with an NYC bar, so that's pretty cool. And lo and behold, is reunited with Hayama again. The series then becomes both Shirasaki and Hayama developing a relationship to help not only master their roles as Ryoji and Takumi, however, as the series and production progresses, so does the state of their relationship, as it slowly blossoms into, well, a real-life one. One of my favorite episodes in the series is episode 3 because it shows the confession between Ryoji and Takumi, which has 11 takes on camera and has Shirasaki begging to try again and again and again. Afterwards, in Shirasaki's apartment, Hayama visits as they go on a little mini-date to watch the premiere of their BL. Those who have watched this series may have me point out the scene where they're in bed gushing about what they like, but one part that stood out to me is when the camera just shows them in the room watching their BL premiere and the TV speaks. This works as the TV shows their true feelings and thoughts out loud. It shows a dramatic irony because at the time of this episode, they are far from becoming a full-on couple, in contrast to the faux couple presentation they got going on with their Lorax keychains, as the series narrates what goes on in their mind. Another factor I genuinely liked about this BL was Kazuma himself. Kazuma is kind of the opposite of both Shirasaki and Hayama, in which he does have some nervousy, but he covers it with his outgoing and more confident expressions, as he always talks about banging and getting together with Shirasaki. He has the confidence, and I really like how he sort of becomes a wedge between the two, because he has something neither of them don't. Confidence, suave, and just more outgoing. I mean, he literally asks for sex or to hook up with Shirasaki. However, the problem is, we only get at most 2 episodes focused around him, and the ending where he just asks Hayama to have sex with him, I mean, it's alright, but if there was more with him, I would have found myself loving the character way more than I already do. As for the main leads, Shirasaki does have good development, as I appreciate how through Hayama, he gains confidence and becomes much more happy in his acting, especially since one of the first things he sees after the posters come out is how he's gonna drag Hayama down, only for Hayama to give him a confidence boost and not just have him sulk in the mean Twitter comments. This eventually grows to where Shirasaki breaks up with Hayama, no longer having to portray the facade of having a boyfriend and being more confident in his acting. He doesn't need that anymore. He already knows what to do. I like it, and the scene does add a bit more angst in the series, because whereas Shirazaki is growing, Hayama is unfortunately losing the faux relationship that he genuinely loved. It also shows a nice setup to the finale, where it also builds up Hayama's current arc. Hayama as a character was always propped up as someone high and mighty and beloved as his peers, someone who immediately became the lead actor in his film club just for his looks. Hayama as a character is interesting, because whereas Shirazaki has the viewer follow a nervous wreck become confident and sure of his performance, Hayama has the viewer follow a celebrity slowly breaking down his facade and realizes that he's just as inexperienced as Shirazaki, and also realizing that yeah, he does love him, however he doesn't know how to portray it truthfully. Despite his cool and more outgoing front, he can't hide the fact that he's not the best actor in his own eyes. He's also insecure and nervous, but most of all, he loves Shirazaki. Even before this, Hayama specifically always took note of Shirazaki, even being called weird for remembering a younger classmate's name and appearance. However, it's also seen as that Hayama saw something he loved in Shirazaki, a simple man who's passionate about acting. One line from episode 7 is that Hayama is multi-layered shell, which no one knows what they're thinking. He has so many walls on him. This is Hayama's character, and it perfectly describes him so well throughout his role in 25 Ji Akasaka Day. Hayama is an actor who puts on a face and has a confident demeanor, even so much that he fakes a relationship with Shirazaki as a form of method acting, a way to hone the roles of Ryoma and Takumi. However, it secretly masks the fact that Hayama secretly loves Shirazaki with his heart. He wants to be in a relationship with him, but can never truly be open with it. So when Shirazaki decides to stop faking the relationship, that's not only when Hayama locks in, but also confesses full on that Hayama indeed likes Shirazaki truthfully. No more teasing about sex, no more asking what he likes out of curiosity, full on spilling his feelings. I like how in episode 8 at the gay bar, he confesses acting isn't fun anymore. It shows that Hayama is discouraged, but also because he can no longer fulfill his wish of being Shirazaki's boyfriend. To him, acting is a way to express his emotions. This series ends on a positive note, and I do like how in episode 9, even after they get together and get intimate, they still aren't comfortable, showing how well the two can develop, and even when things resolve, it isn't perfect, like a relationship. But at least we get a confirmation that Hiro no Yume gets a sequel. So before we review the sequel, which isn't real, I can't complete this review without honoring Hayama's Sentai World counterpart, Gaito Koshikita, and the amazing actor that portrays both of them, Komagine Kita. Also, no, sadly, I haven't watched Down Brothers, so unfortunately, this will be Zenkaiger only, as well as also it saves time, but who knows, I might come back and make another video, which is just the same thing, but with Down Brothers Kaito. That would have been funny. Kaito is such a fun MC. He's passionate, shows his love for his grandma, and also just playing along with the worlds both intentionally and unintentionally. But there is some depth with him. He is also missing something: his parents. Throughout Zenkaiger, a big plot point is figuring out what happened to Isao and Mitsuko, the inventor of the Sentai gears and the gear to linger, and more importantly, Kaito's parents. As the series progresses, we see Kaito's persona slowly morph as his more outgoing and friendly nature cracks, and we see a more sadder Kaito becoming more serious as the stakes get higher. Someone who deeply misses his parents, someone who wants to know the truth on why they disappeared, not only for his sake, but for Yatsure, his grandma, and for Sechan, the best friend his parents made for him. Kaito cares. He knows when something is wrong. He knows when he needs to do what's right, but he also knows that sometimes things call for reality to hit him. Komagine takes this bittersweet aspect of Kaito and is perfectly able to replicate it with Hayama. Hayama is confident, suave, and he is the talk of the town, but to him, he does have his own demons. His love for Shirazaki, his passion for acting, and how he can never truly show it. Komagine is able to show the character's true emotions, but of course, hides it. He knows the true intention of the characters and is able to sell to the audience that something is wrong below the surface. He knows that they're both flawed characters forced to be an ideal, forced to be seen as the leader by their circumstances. However, luckily, both characters are rewarded with such as Kaito finally getting his dad back and Hayama ending up together with Shirazaki. I want to recall back to the beginning of the video where I mentioned one character key to Kaito's development, and that is Stacy himself, Stacy Satoshi. Stacy and Kaito are the perfect foils because both are very similar in their circumstances. Two people with the power of the Geartlingers whose parents are unfortunately out of their life, fighting to be able to reach their own goals. But whereas Kaito's goals are able to find out more info on the Toji Tendo and what happened to his parents, Stacy fights because of the resentment he has for Kaito and the Toji Tendo. When we see Kaito interact with Stacy, Kaito always comes off as nicer and more calmer around him. He never wants to hurt him, but rather convince him that the Toji Tendo is bad and they should fight together. Stacy, however, doesn't care, because he already knows that the Toji Tendo is bad. Rather, Stacy hates Kaito for his optimistic look on life, his willingness to be kind and extend a warm hand to him. This is because the only other time Stacy has had this in his life was with his mother, the same woman that was the wife of Barashitara. Kaito has the support system to navigate his trauma, be it Yatsude, the more older figure of Juran, and Socks and his siblings. Stacy, however, doesn't. He only works for the Toji Tendo, the same one ruled by his neglectful and abusive father, the same one that sees him and Kaito's father as a tool, the same one that even discriminates and hates him because he's half Kikanoid, half human. So when we get to the episode where Stacy is almost killed by his ghost mom and Kaito saves him, it shows their dynamic. Because Stacy lost everything, he grew spiteful and isolated, willing to die because it was his mother, the one woman he cared about in life. But whereas Kaito lost his parents, he became more determined, more hopeful, and more focused on anything to save his family. For example, in episode 35, after finding out about his dad being Hakaiser and failing to save him, Kaito didn't go evil or sulky, but rather, he told the rest of the Zenkaigers to help him in his search for his father and to get him back, and go Zenryoku Zenkai, showing that yes, there is pain and there is sadness, but Kaito now is more motivated than ever to get his father back and defeat the Toji Tendo. In a sense, Kaito and Stacy share the same dynamic as Shirasaki and Hayama. Both are couple/acquaintances, which showcase how isolation has affected them. Not to mention how both are able to see something within each other. Stacy and Shirasaki can see the confident and more positive look in their situation, be it acting or dead parents. But whereas Shirasaki is inspired and pushed to do better by such, Stacy is resentful. Not to mention the other factor. Both aren't just a figurehead, but a human that also struggles with their situation. They know that they're putting on a face, but still power through, and they do their best to ensure that their hope isn't lost. After all, Hayama was the star actor of his drama club, and Kaito is the leader of the Zenkaigers. With all that pressure up, they just can't quit yet. For example, in episode 26, where Kaito still wants to push forward and helping Stacy and getting him out of the Toji Tendo, even after being overpowered and talking it over with Juran and Socks in the park, or how in episode 7, where Hayama confessed that yes, he does love Shirasaki outside of the drama. There's also another factor, like how 25 Akasaka is about a BL within a BL, Zenkaiger is a Sentai within a Sentai. It celebrates their genre and shows the effort into making a Sentai team and BL series, or BL team. Zenkaiger is filled with Sentai deep cuts and even spoils you for some series, and 25 Akasaka shows the efforts actors go into getting into character, learning about gay culture surprisingly, and also how the actors feel about being in a BL, especially some that have never been in a relationship. With Hayama and Kaito, Komagine Kita gives them a sense of wonder, making them navigate their way as a newbie. Komagine shows them fumbling, showing interest, but also having fun with their roles, and fits the tone completely, bringing whimsy and happiness for a series like Zenkaiger, and angst and fluff in a series like 25 Akasaka. Both series that not only bring out the passion of their genre, but also the amazing acting skills of Komagine Kita, showing how he is able to peel back his characters to not only entice the viewers, but show how Kita understands the characters and how to present such. He also shows how well he can play off his fellow actors, and how he's able to work well and develop an amazing dynamic with his co-stars. Zenkaiger and 25 Akasaka are very obviously two completely different series, especially tone-wise, but I think that shows how well Kita is great at acting in different areas. While I always did have a soft spot for Kaito and the whole Zenkaiger cast, to be honest, watching it again makes me realize that, man, Kaito is really cool. He's cool, and I genuinely like seeing him on screen, and I can't wait until I start watching Dawn Brothers and see how he is there. And also, Hayama is such a nice character to see, someone who's supposed to be the highest quality star, who got in because of his nice looks and also his mom being a model. He shows how he develops into his own and is able to be his own characters, and I genuinely love that. So if you can, definitely check out both series, but especially 25 Akasaka at only 10 episodes. It's such a cool series, and I definitely recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad I'm able to get another Toku to BL video out. While they don't always do the best in views, I'm always happy to make them. They're always such a fun pleasure. But if you can, make sure to join my Discord server. As of what's expected for this video to come out, we just watched the premiere of Kamen Rider Gav in my VC, so we're definitely doing a lot of others. I am planning to show maybe Zenkaiger's like movie, Superhero Senki, my favorite, so definitely come by our Discord and check it out. And of course, follow me on my social medias, and also support the people and watch my other videos. I mean, I just came out with a Rick and Steve video, but thank you so much and have a great day.